Somebody else can call her.
Yeah. Okay, at 7:30, we'll call the meeting to order. The location of fire exit doorways are on either end of the hallway. In case of emergency, the AED machine hangs directly on the wall across from that door. Please turn off all cell phone and pages. Would please take the roll call?
Norman Vaz.
Here.
Rocky Ellsworth.
Here.
Ed Haight.
Here.
Jerry Huffman, excused for now. Carol Ross.
Here. Need a minute to check the minutes of June 15th, 2020 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes. Second.
Motion made by Carl Rod, second by Rocky Ellsworth to approve the minutes of the June 15, 2020 meeting as presented. Clerk, please call the vote.
Norman Vaz.
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth.
Aye.
Ed Haight.
Aye.
Carol Ross.
Carried. Okay, we'll move down to Dean and Betsy Bradley decision on the wind turbine. Do you know what's? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Been a long day. Clerk, please show the legal notices for public hearings. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, we'll move down to Dean and Betsy Brightly, 555 Revan Road, the decision on the wind turbine. Just in time, Marie.
Anyway.
Better than I did.
Well, we just started the discussion on the,
Okay. One turn.
yes.
Okay.
We've been doing this thing now for quite a while. Have several public hearings. And I guess now we're down to decision time. You've read a lot of information. Do you got anything to read in lights, office or guidance or any,
I mean, it's up to you. I think you've got all your information. You read over the sound report, correct?
Mhm.
So you just would need to go through your 5 criteria, and then it's up to you which way you want to go.
Go from there.
Yeah?
Okay. Okay, we'll start with number 1. Whether undesirable change would be produced in character of neighborhood or a detriment to nearby property. I guess it depends on what change. See, this is kind of a thing all by itself. It's promoted by part of ag and markets. It's part of agriculture. within an agriculture district. What undesirable change produced in a neighborhood due to agricultural equipment is a very difficult thing to answer. My opinion would probably say no, because it's part of agriculture. I don't know how else to say it. Any other thoughts from the board?
Be a change in the neighborhood and the fact that it's a tower with a turbine on it versus other towers that are around. But that's the only difference, other than there's towers in the town now. So that would be, I don't know how undesirable it would be, I don't know that, can't say that.
Any other comments? So in other words, your answer would be no?
So,
For the benefits of the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance.
No matter where the structure, piece of farm equipment is located, it's the height it is.
Well, it says achieved by a feasible alternative. There is no other alternative except the farmland. At least in my opinion, and this is, if I understand the Department of Ag and Markets, this is being brought about to try to help the cost of electricity for agriculture, which is very expensive.
Well, and for the, I don't know if any of you read the Sunday section of the newspaper on going green.
Mm-hmm.
But there's goals the state has of energy that this is one of the ways it's going to be met.
So in other words, in your opinion, for the board's opinion, it would be no. Okay. What of the requested variance is substantial?
I think we all have to agree it's substantial. You're going from a maximum allowable height of 50 feet to 180 feet. You have to say that that's a substantial, I would think.
But the flip side is on any other agricultural use, like a lag or a dry or anything, there isn't even a variance required.
Because I'm on farmer, are those, construction?
The grain is a piece of equipment that-
Yeah.
Oh, but it's equipment, it's
It's-
not a structure that's.
It's a structure, yes.
Oh,
it's
it
a
is.
structure
Oh,
that
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
All right.
structure. Yeah.
transfers material from one bin to another bin.
Okay. Oh, all
All
right.
goes up, it distributes it.
Oh, okay.
I worked at Reed's Farms, that's 130 feet in the air
Oh, okay.
to the top of the tower. So what do you think, whether requested variance is substantial, yes or no? It's yes. It definitely is substantial.
I would say it's a substantial, I would answer that as yes.
Okay. Would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood?
That's the one that's probably the biggest debate of anything.
Most controversial.
Because, and we got that sound report and all those things that we went through last month, and, you know, heard from Padma? I don't think Padma, I'm not sure, but, you know,
You're doing good.
either from your side, and we're hearing from everything, and everybody's got something, so that is the one big, in my opinion, it's an unknown without having it there in place to see what's gonna happen. So I think the potential could be there to have an adverse, especially more of the health and welfare of the neighbors more than the appearance of the neighborhood, which was addressed in the earlier one.
I don't think it would have an environmental, because it's not,
Right.
it's not, you're not putting gas in it. You're not
Right.
having any pesticides coming out of it, so I don't think it's environmental. But for the neighborhood, impact to the physical, because I think it's the only structure like that in that neighborhood, correct?
Yes.
So what's your answer, yes or no?
I mean, I say it could be yes. I would think yes. I don't know what the rest of you guys think.
I agree on the physical aspect. I think that
But the problem is environmental, it doesn't, so,
It's because it says the physical or environmental conditions. So we agree it's not gonna have an environmental effect, but the potential is there for a physical effect.
so your answer is gonna be yes?
I would say yes.
Whether you let difficulty was self-created. It's number 5. I don't believe it's self-created because it's designed, because we're living in a new world now, in many ways, that I believe this is done to help the environment, plus help the cost of electricity in time. It's something that's being done in many areas, not just here.
Right.
It's becoming part of agriculture. And we definitely, there's no argument about this, we are ag down. I mean, 100% ag.
Well, as I said before, besides becoming part of agriculture, it's becoming part of green energy.
So the answer would be no. So now we're down to coming up with the proper motion, I guess. This is a guide, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So, any board members got any other ideas? Been through the legal thing on this thing once already, and actually the decision was mainly on, if I understand it correctly, was they wanted added information in the
It was because, after you had closed the public hearing, Padmar had given you a couple additional things that was considered evidence. And the public should have been able to respond to that, and they couldn't. So we gave them that chance at the last public hearing for them to respond to that evidence that was presented, and from there.
Any more thoughts for it, or I know it's been a difficult one. We've been put in a position which I don't really care for, and that's one of the problems we have. What do you need, Matthew?
I was looking for our original motion.
This is the one on your own. That was the first one. I will say all the agreements, the fall down agreements, every agreement that was required, they have met, just so. I guess basically it's, at our last public hearing, the main, in fact, the only one I heard was the sound of all the people that spoke. The basic information was the sound. I never heard much about either or of, because the other one that passed is up the road of 3/4 of a mile, whatever it is, which has gone through. And at that one, there wasn't any comments. So that's about where we're at. Any more thoughts for it, or?
Yes, not, not to be that horse or anything else, but number 5, whether it was self-graded or not, I mean, you could say it was because they could have found a different site on the farm to place it. But that was in the ideal location, the best winds, et cetera, et cetera.
That's any location.
So that would be the only.
Right there, Terry.
Okay.
Sit right in front.
If Milky wants to be that close to the crowd.
Yes, you can get the flag. Good to see you, Terry. We're in the process, Jerry, of coming up with a decision on the wind turbine. That's where we're at there. We went through the 5 criteria. And now we're coming up to the point where make the decision, yes or no. Basically.
Is that-
He's got one.
You got one, Chair?
Okay.
Have some lipsticks. I'll make a motion to approve the application of Ian and Bessie Brightly, 555 Redmond Road, for a 132-foot height variance to construct a 182-foot wind turbine. We've discussed the 5 criteria balancing test for an area variance. Per the Department of Ag and Markets, the department has considered wind turbines used to supply a portion of farms' electrical needs not exceeding 110% of the farm's anticipated demand to be on-farm equipment. This project will meet this requirement. The project is located in an improved agricultural district. The project is part of a commercial farm operation. The town's current zoning ordinance will unreasonably restrict farm operations in violation of Ag and Markets Law 305-1, parentheses A, is set out in an opinion letter issued the Agriculture Markets Commission to be able to construct this turbine. As a wind turbine constructed at the town of Hamlin's maximum height of 50 feet would not create enough power to meet the anticipated demand. This is the minimum relief necessary to afford relief to the applicant. This is a type 2 seeker.
Is there, do you want to add the all agreements that they have? All down again?
Okay, all agreements in relation to the fall zone have been met.
The time has been examined and it's okay.
Okay, the pond, supposed wetlands have been examined and are,
It's not a wetland,
Right.
it's considered a pond.
the pond in relation to the location is, when checked out, is okay.
Sound feasible?
That's fine.
Okay, the motion made by Rocky Elder, second by Jerry Huffman, to approve the application of Dean and Betsy Bradley, 555 Redmond Road, for variance required for putting up a wind turbine for agricultural purposes only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Norm Baz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Carol Roth,
Aye.
Ed Hay,
No.
Jerry Hoffman.
Yes.
Aye. Barry.
I was waiting for that.
You're waiting for me. Norm Baz.
We'll see where this goes.
Okay.
I have no idea. Okay,
One question, is this for both the height and the setback variance? I only heard him mention the height.
the only variance we
variance.
grant the height.
Excuse me.
The setback variance also from the adjoining property line?
So remember, you didn't need that because we got the fall down zone. didn't-
Right, yeah, that's why I wanted that.
We had the agreements that
Okay,
for the adjacent property, the landowner
agrees.
signed
Okay.
an agreement.
All right, just wanted to make sure it was covered. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move down to Richard Dorf, 7330 Sandy Shore Drive. Let's see. Garage, correct, and Sandy Shore Drive.
You had the stakes out when we were there Saturday, it looked like.
Yeah, I had to work Saturday, I was able to meet with you.
Right at the fort,
Yes,
stakes.
yes, right.
Now, if there wasn't there a little shed, or is that going to be removed?
Oh, yeah,
Right, okay,
it's all rotted,
Yeah.
that's why I need a garage.
okay. What would it be of, regular garage built, stick garage in a wood?
It's a pole barn construction,
Oh, pole barn.
pole barn, 6x6 posts.
Okay,
Hamlin, rough sawn board and batten siding. Hardy board, cedar shaped gables, vinyl, aluminum soffits. Nicely done.
How tall would it be?
I'm gonna be probably 10, 18, 19 feet.
And make sure you get on.
okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, open up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give your name and address. I think this will be pretty quiet.
I spoke with my neighbor, they either had a thumbs up or no problems at all.
That was wise.
I thought so, yeah.
Okay, declare this public hearing closed. Okay, board. Yeah, it looks like it's, when we were down, it looks like it'll add value to your property.
Almost definitely,
Yes.
and my taxes too.
Yes.
Jeannie Klopp came into the office last Friday, and two of the applicants tonight, Richard Dorff, Josh Folk. It appears they're within 200 feet of a wetland, so they're going to have to go to planning board for a conservation development permit on August 3rd, and then they will be done. Within
Okay.
200 feet of the wetland, and Mr. Dorff's property starts in the middle of the road and goes south, and the other one is by Sandy. So, that should not have any bearing on your decision.
No, okay. You're aware of this, right?
I am,
One more little glitch.
yeah, I'm about 4 months behind on this, but, well. So I can't do anything until the August meeting?
Right.
Any other questions? If not,
I would make a motion that the application of Richard Dorff at 7330 Sandy Shore Drive, seeking relief from Town Code 520-21C2A. He's seeking a 6-foot variance to have a 29-foot rear setback. SR LWRP, we got LWRP statement came back, okay, correct?
The first one came back until she looked at it again last Friday.
And this variance would be contingent on receiving the wetland, what is that permit called? Just
It's a conservation.
conservation development permit.
Yeah.
Which is just but I'll just make it contingent on receiving that at the August 3rd planning board meeting. Type 2 seeker, no one here to speak against it.
Second.
motion made by Eddie Hayes, second by Carl Ralph, to approve the application for an area variance for Richard Dorff, 7330 Sandy Shore Drive for variance data for the garage. Clerk, please poll the vote.
Nona Vaz,
Aye.
Rafi Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Jerry Hoffman,
Aye.
Carl Ross.
Carried. Okay, that's step one. Now all you gotta do is go to step two and you'll be good to go.
Is there any preparation I need for the August meeting?
No, I-
Are they gonna ask for impact or drainage or?
I've already got all the packet ready for them. I've already used the packet from here.
Okay.
Yeah, fill out the application, you're good to go.
Okay, so I'll be on the agenda and you'll send me an email. or something.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Okay, any
All right,
other
well-
questions?
No, I think I'm all set.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Thanks.
Okay, Rebecca Scheiker. You've got the home that's surrounded by 0 setbacks. Did you have any luck talking to the person or
No,
Which person?
the neighbor next
the
door.
neighborhood?
No,
Okay, I just wondered, we thought there might be a way to help you out, because it's very, very, very tight.
yeah.
So even with, did you guys, because I heard you had a different map before, there was a right of way, so is that just like that right of way? So use, not build on?
You can't build on right away.
I was just getting, that's what I meant.
No. We were down there, Maureen, you wiggle it with 0 setback.
0 setback. You have a
I've
picture of that,
never seen.
the one you sent out the second, I don't have that one. It shows the property lines.
And it has a fence that goes around, you would think with a lot line, it's not the lot line
Oh,
that they thought it was, but it's not.
Nobody,
Yeah, it's
everybody
not a
failed to
property.
show us till, you know what I mean?
when you close it.
No,
I mean, they did, but
I didn't pay.
you, yeah, you weren't there.
Yeah.
You don't have that one, do you? That one she mailed out to us? The one that shows,
That's the lot.
yeah, that one there, is that the one that shows the picture? Yeah, that's the one.
The line is probably right here.
Right. Yeah,
That's
that's
the
the
lot.
one,
Can I see that one?
I didn't print that one out.
Oh, so this is, where they putting the shed? Oh, right here at the end of the driveway?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
it's
the
right
frame
here.
shed?
Yeah, see, you can wiggle it,
If you-
twist a little bit. You can put it in here.
Oh, I see that.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
See that,
It's
that fence would give you the idea that that's the property line.
Yeah.
Right.
In reality, the
Yeah.
shows otherwise.
So you
See
just
this
wanna
fence?
wiggle it and put it right in that little
Yeah,
area right
yeah.
there.
And it's all wide open behind them and it's all wide open to the south of them, so it's not,
That big fence, that's not their line either.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty
It's
small.
all, yeah, pretty
I
weird
don't even
there.
know how, I didn't went down there, just back in the day.
It's
they probably just made it
unfortunate
happen.
you weren't aware of
I
that.
want to do something.
No.
Nope, thank you. I heard all about it.
Well, because seeing is, there's nothing like the real thing, I mean.
There's many problems in Proper with survey lines and that.
Yeah.
It's been a problem, yeah.
Any other questions from the board? If not, open up a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give your name and address. I'll wait.
They left, so
They left.
the person left, yes.
Okay, I guess I declare this public hearing closed. So what do you think, board? Is this, it's crazy. I guess we could probably help you somewhat with the 0 setback, and I know it's partially built.
Is there, well, I was gonna say does the code enforcement officer have any input?
I already put a stop work order on it, and it is tight in Shelter, it's tight there, over in Beechwood Park area. Nothing, a lot of things are not the way they should be.
See that?
I can't put anything personal into it. I think that they could benefit from the zero setback if that's what the board wishes to do.
We look at the fence, yeah.
Yeah.
But it had to be a zero side, a zero rear, and a zero from the house.
Is that,
Yes, I will drive the fence.
Right now, you don't have any storage space, do you?
what, you know, when it's so close to the house, what happens with fire call?
What did we, you had just about 5 foot between, the way we look at it that day out there,
Yeah.
there's just gonna be just about 5 feet between the house and the garage, or the shed, when we were down there that day. We looked through it.
It's definitely super cool.
You might have, something like that would be considered for 5 feet between the house and the shed. You definitely have to put extra fire protection on the shed and on the house. I'm not the fire marshal, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, under 520, 27, private garages, carports, non-agricultural storage barns. It has to be 10 feet from any other building on the lot. And you only got 5 feet, so you need a variance for that.
Yes. With added fire protection to be determined by the fire marshal.
That's what we figured. We figured it'd be about 5 foot by wiggling that.
Yeah.
Would that help you? I mean, would that?
So the only way we'd have to turn it a little bit.
Oh, you're gonna have to turn it to get to it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could, if you've been able to contact the owner, landowner around you,
We talked to everybody around us. They were all super cool and said, do what you gotta do, and the guy wants
We
you
don't
to.
know if we had a problem with it.
Yeah.
I don't know, they were just here secretly.
I know all the neighbors that are surrounding the shed, the property, they've all given us the okay for it. And
Yeah,
I gotta help fix the fence.
the guy whose
That's the
fence,
deal.
the guy whose property it's touching with the right of way, he said he didn't have a problem
He
with it.
says. as long as
He's
the
even
property-
called and okayed it.
Yeah.
Where is this right away that you're talking about? Can I see that map?
You guys have a different map, I think. Cheryl, I sent you a copy, but that one's different, I think. There's 2 different maps.
This says gravel driveway on it, and it looks like your gravel driveway's a little bit on his property also.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
4 or 5 feet of it, I think, and then a little bit of the backyard even, like probably.
Your deck appears to be on the other
On
neighbor's
other
house.
guys,
it's
It's the same property.
yeah.
And, when you purchased the property, you did get boundary line agreements, your attorney did get boundary line agreements for these?
I don't know.
my guess. What do
Well,
you think?
You should have, those are title issues, big title issues.
Maureen, the only thing that concerns me here is we don't want to set up a case of adverse possession.
And this Mr. Barrows, Barrows,
Arrows?
yeah,
Yeah,
you've spoken with him,
yes.
and he's okay with the shed being there,
Yeah,
where it is now?
absolutely.
And he won't give you an easement or a license agreement to let you allow you to keep your frame shed there?
Never
I
really
haven't
discussed it.
asked him, but I'm sure he would be fine with it.
Okay, so that's what I would suggest, is that we ask him if we can get a license agreement, and the license agreement would say that he's okay with you leaving your shed there. You
Okay.
would still need your variance because you're on the lot line and all this, you would need a variance here for this one. But it says you can build the shed there and you can leave it there. And at such times that it has to be rebuilt or torn down, it has to be placed on your own property. So that would be, if you keep it up and then you sell it, as long as you have that license agreement, that's good.
Okay.
Okay? And I think that would solve your problems mostly, instead of us trying to cram that onto your property.
Honestly, it would kill me if I had to pull in the driveway every day and see that thing sitting like that in a tiny little spot. I would rather not even.
So whoever your attorney is, I would suggest that they get a hold of him and ask him if he would agree to a license agreement, just to allow you to place the shed there And then, you would have to have the variance there because you're over the lot lines.
Mhm.
But I think that would work out better for you.
Okay, so as long as we got the agreement, how would that work out? Would you guys all be?
You would just have to bring it in and show that and it has to be in recordable format, you'll want it recorded, absolutely. But as long as you have that signed, then I think you probably could act on this a little bit better. You'd be better off acting on it that way. Okay?
And that would prevent adverse possession on the
Correct.
part of.
Correct.
You see, what scares me here, I'm not a lawyer, but there's something called adverse possession where if you use someone's property for, is it 10 years,
It's 20 years.
20 years, and they don't do anything about it, you can claim it.
And that's what this
Well,
license agreement is.
I don't want to give a variance to set you up to be able to do that. Where you had this license agreement, he's telling you right up front that
It's okay.
he's letting you use it, but not,
You're not transferring ownership.
Right.
yeah. You get what I mean, but as part of the town, my personal opinion is I don't want to put you in a position to be able to claim adverse possession down the road. So that wouldn't be fair to your neighbor.
We could
Yeah.
continue with our variance granted pending.
Pending a license agreement, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yep, absolutely.
But because that was been my fear the whole time, Cheryl, was the adverse possession aspect.
Okay. Got that?
Variance pending.
Before
license
before you go, we need to go through this for everyone, right?
agreement. Yeah, but we're laying some groundwork here.
You work on that.
You go through the.
Will there be an undesirable change produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties by the creating of this area variance? I'd say no.
There's many other ones.
There's others like it. The fence outlines the fact that that property doesn't want to come any further with that fence. I would say no. Whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some feasible method other than a variance. That's
No.
Is it a substantial variance? I don't know.
Well, it's substantial when you over
Yeah.
zero or go over the lot line.
The proposed area variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood. Was it self-created?
Yeah, he wants to build.
Yeah, you could say self-created. Okay.
Make the motion that you put that for.
I thought you had all figured out. I was. We're gonna go with the zero variances, the zero setback variance, correct?
Side, rear,
Side and rear.
and house.
I would make a motion that the application of Rebecca Schicker seeking a zero side setback and a zero rear setback variance to build a shed at 9625 Beechwood Park. What's the dimensions of the shed?
It's 8 by 10.
An 8 by 10 shed. And this variance will be contingent on receiving a letter of
License agreement.
a license agreement from the property owner to keep the existing, to keep the proposed shed on both Schicker's property and the neighboring property, contingent on receiving that license agreement. This is a type 2 seeker. There's nobody to speak. Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's not gonna be 5 feet from the dwelling, it
Not
stays
anymore,
there.
it stays
If it stays there, it's far enough away.
It's far
You don't
enough
need a
away from
dwelling.
the
I
dwelling, yeah.
apologize.
Yeah, no, there's enough room.
Okay.
So
Between-
you need a license agreement for the shed in its current position as shown on the survey map.
Okay.
So if you want to put that license agreement to keep the proposed shed in the current location shown on the survey map.
Second.
Motion made by Eddie Gates, second by Rocky Ellsworth to approve the area variance for Rebecca Shiker, 9625 Beechwood Park, for 0 setbacks needed for a variance for the shed, plus the other agreement. Clerk, please poll the vote.
Norman Vaz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hayes,
Aye.
Jerry Hoffman,
Aye.
Carol Lot.
Carried, okay, you're that far. Hopefully you can get your agreement,
Thank you,
Thank
sorry.
you.
and that really will
Baby
take care of it.
steps, right?
It's just
Yes.
super hard down there with
Baby
that
steps.
tiny spot. It's so small.
You've got one of a kind.
We figured we were waiting with buying a house on the lake, but I guess.
There's a saying, location, location, location.
We still got the lake, so.
There you go.
Okay, any other questions?
We wanna obviously talk to the property owners.
Yes.
Make an agreement, and then when do we come back?
Well, but
When
you
you have
don't
this-
come back here.
Well, you just have to have the agreement filed with Cheryl,
Just
right?
show it to Cheryl.
Okay,
That's all.
so do we just contact you and show you and then?
Make copies and then we'll go forward.
Okay.
But you'll want it recorded in the county clerk's office, just so that it's on record, so that if someone ever bought his property, they can't come to you and say, hey, move it.
Yeah,
Okay?
Now, his son ain't going with that.
Right,
That's his
Okay.
property.
I know.
How about
All right.
that? How about the next home you buy, you do some close
Yeah.
research.
Yeah, I guess we were a little excited at the time, so probably look past a few things.
Well, first I'll say what.
That's all right.
That's okay, it's just a learning experience, that's all. Okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
time. Have a good evening.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carol. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Joshua vote. Roosevelt Highway, okay. You would like to put a garage?
Yep.
In other words, it heads right to east side of your house, right
Yep.
directly onto the house?
You had it painted there for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we were there Saturday.
Yep, yeah, I saw you come in and nobody got out there, right? You guys just.
Well, we looked ahead, we saw the paint and everything.
That's what I was gonna come out, and you guys are back now, it's like, well, you know.
Yeah.
I don't get on my air-conditioned car.
I mean, that way there, but we saw you had the stake, you had it painted,
Right, yeah.
so we knew exactly what you were looking to do with it, so.
Joshua, you're just continuing that existing garage out, the same roof lines and stuff, or?
That's the plan, yeah. Yes.
Any other questions? Yeah, the little tiny garage, with single door.
So it'll be a 4.5 foot variance, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And I have something to add. So this is the other, did you get my letter in the mail today at all?
I might have, I didn't check them out.
Okay, because this is the other one that you had said was okay, and then she said that he's building within 200 feet of the wetland, which is 600 feet. So he'll have to come August 3rd for public, for planning board for conservation development permit. It's a very easy thing, August 3rd.
Where's the wetland there?
Sandy Creek,
Sandy Creek,
in the backyard.
And
Yeah.
Okay, behind.
yeah, behind, but he's still within 200 feet of it, so
Okay, we didn't,
we didn't know
now
that.
obviously,
I didn't know.
maybe we should have got out of the look, because that we didn't see.
She didn't notice it
I would
the
think
first
it's gotta
time
be.
around.
The wetland border must be way up from, because it's way more than 200 feet from the creek, but they must have the wetland border.
It was like an overlay, that's why. Thank you for understanding. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Will that be at that meeting? I will be done at that meeting, or will I have to wait? Okay.
It should be, yeah.
August
Should be,
3rd. It depends what these guys think.
Okay, at this point, then open up a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give their name and address. Seeing nobody, declare this public hearing closed. Okay, board.
I'll make a motion to grant Joshua Volt 3869 Roosevelt Highway, a 4.5 foot east side setback for construction of a garage. This is practical difficulty and is the minimum variance that will grant relief. This is subject to approval of, what is the correct term, Cheryl?
Consultation.
Conservation Overlay District. This is the minimum variance that will grant relief, that will not change the character of the neighborhood, and it's a type 2 secret.
Can we do the 5 criteria before?
Oh, gosh.
Please, thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. It will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. There isn't any other practical way for the benefit to be achieved by the applicant. The variance is not substantial. It will not have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood. Yes, it is self-created, but it's a practical difficulty. In order to have a garage, it is what is necessary.
I'll second.
Motion made by Rocky Ellsworth, seconded by Charles Roth to approve the area variance requested by Joshua Hope, 3869 Roosevelt Highway. The variance for the erection of a garage attached to its existing garage. Coach, please poll the vote.
Norman Vaz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Jerry Hoffman,
Aye.
Carl Ross.
Aye.
Carried, okay, you're all set to August.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, have a good evening.
So.
I do not see that the next applicant is present.
Out here.
No.
Okay, then we'll just,
Are you familiar with it at all, Cheryl, or?
Yeah, they're gonna do some drainage, they're gonna take the existing drain pipe out, and they're gonna put the new drain pipe through a hole in the rock break wall, and they're gonna finish up some drainage across the property so that the road and the property opposite does not flood. But I'd like to have them here, because, they were also going to bring, Dean Crowley was coming also to explain exactly what he was doing,
And as the conservation,
contractor. He's a contractor,
right, but as a conservation board looked at it?
yes, they have. And she's deemed it consistent.
well, we'll just have to wait. We can't grant it without. Okay? Maybe she'll come here for the meeting's over, I don't know.
I don't know, right.
I doubt it. Cody Summer. Let's see. What would you like? You're the one that picked the fence?
Yep.
Make it sound.
Yeah. I love them, they're beautiful. Okay, would you like to tell the board what your intentions are?
Yeah, so, right on Lake Road, and the house is set back maybe 35 feet from the road. And looking to be able to use the front yard with our young kids. And there's nothing between the yard and the road. There's no ditch, no sidewalk or anything like that. So looking to put up just your standard white picket fence along the road, and then looking to put it on two sides. We got some hedges on the third side and the house on the fourth side, obviously, but two sides just to kind of define the front yard and keep our kids safe and good distance away from the road if we're out in the front yard.
So the driveway side?
Yeah,
Go down the
driveway side.
And across the front, kind of like this picture shows?
Yeah. Yep.
Any gate there, Cody?
Yeah, some sort of gate at the gap there where the sidewalk ends.
Okay, is it 3 foot high? Okay. Which home is that in that? Is that near?
It's right between VFW and Hamlin Pizza Shack.
Oh, okay. I will say that's a very highly traveled road. Well, we can schedule a public hearing for you. If you'd like to do that.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we schedule a public hearing for Cody Summer, 1727 Lake Road, on July 20th, at 7:30.
August 17th. You're gonna schedule a
Public hearing.
yeah, for August.
Oh, I'm sorry. For August 17th.
That's all right, we're only a month off.
Looking at the wrong calendar. Install a 3 foot high picket fence seeking relief from Town Code 520-29J for a fence in the front yard 6 feet from the road.
Second.
Motion made by Carl Watt, second by Eddie Hay, to schedule a public hearing for Cody Summer, 1727 Lake Road, for August 17th at 7:30 for construction of the picket fence in the front yard. Please pull a vote.
Linda Baz,
Aye.
Rafi Ellsworth.
Aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Carl Ross.
Aye.
Jerry Hoffman.
Carried. Okay, have your fee in before August 4th. Still $75?
Still 75.
Okay, all right.
And on August 15th, sometime after 10:30 in the morning, we'll be around to view it. We view everything before we vote on it.
Okay.
So don't shoot at us.
Pretty easy to get to. It's
Okay.
right up at the road, so
Okay, any other questions?
not for me.
Okay, well, good. We'll see you then a month from now, roughly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Pauline, Madeline Carney,
Yes.
Carney, okay, and you would like to also have a white picket fence?
Yes.
In other words,
We want to replace an existing wooden fence with a white vinyl picket fence.
now the variance, Cheryl, that we go in front of the home.
It's
I
not-
understand
it's
the
not
hazard
really-
area permit.
It's not really a variance, it is a coastal erosion hazard area.
We have two applications,
So we get-
one for the
Yeah.
coast,
One
one
for
for the
coastal,
CDOT
one
and
for
one's for
area.
the.
I don't have them with me right now. Because we should need a variance from 5/20/29. So it does not detract from water views from the neighbors. Because you can't place anything in the front yard, front water side yard, of any property unless you get a variance. Like if you're gonna place a little shed, they're gonna put a fence in.
Okay,
Is this fence existing?
The one is being
The
removed,
rotted wooden fence was there.
and it's a new fence, so it needs to go for, and there was never a variance for the original
Never a
fence.
variance for the
And
original.
it doesn't show the fence on this.
Is it on there in yellow, you can barely see it?
Is it the one down here where it says gate?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Okay.
And then the other side of the yard, halfway down.
Oh, up here?
Yeah, and then the two corners.
Oh, this here.
Okay, over here, okay.
The only thing that's different is we're putting a gate in instead of leaving it open like it was.
What's that?
Your stop.
Is it going beyond the front of the house? The replacement?
No. You mean the roadside of the house?
The water side.
The water,
Oh, no.
the water side is front there.
Thank you, because my husband and I have thought about this for 10 minutes.
Right.
The lake, the water side is the front of the house.
Okay.
The road is the back of the house.
yeah.
Even though it's,
So
The
just the
first thing you see when
highlighted
you
is
drive
okay.
in.
Yes.
Entrance is from the front, right?
And this is
You're
similar,
not gonna win with
this
them.
is similar to her neighbor, Sean Major, who came in with the same variance.
I don't- Yeah, I think the reason is because there isn't a variance now, so it's pre-existing non-conforming. So that's why it's in to get the, because they're replacing it.
Okay,
And so just to get the variance so that when they go to sell it, there's no problem.
everything in yellow is what's getting replaced, Cheryl?
Yes.
Yellow is gonna be the new. That's what it does. That's the thing. So
No, it
it's
doesn't
not
look like it goes
maybe-
past that in front of the
maybe
house.
the lake.
no.
No.
It doesn't.
I'll make a motion for Paul and Madeline Jeremy, 5714 West Tacoma Beach Road. Seeking relief from Town Code 520-21B to C to install a 4-foot wide, 4-foot,
Yes, we can always schedule a public hearing.
no, public hearing, I'm sorry, 4-foot high white picket fence. Subject to the restrictions of the Town Code 520-29. Public hearing to be on August 17th, 7:30.
Second motion.
Motion made by Carl Rod, second by Eddie Hay, to schedule a public hearing for Paul and Madeline Kennedy, 5714 West Tacoma Beach Road, for variance needed for installation of a new white picket fence for August 17th after 7:30. Clerk, please poll the vote.
Norman Vaz,
Aye.
Mike Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Carl Roth,
Aye.
Jerry Hoffman.
Carrie, okay, we're all set on that now. Can we give the coastal permit tonight? No,
We should
not
wait
go
until
after
the
that,
same night.
That's it.
okay?
And sometime after 10:30 on August 15th, we'll be down to look at the property.
Okay.
We view everything before we vote on it.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do you under,
Yeah, we're good.
good? Okay.
Our excuse.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's nice to have happy people. I'd love it.
You too.
Okay, Chris Stoltz, 384 Drake Road. Oh, you're the chicken man.
Yes, sir.
So you would like to have 6 chickens, understand correctly, and your property less than 1 acre.
Yes.
Okay,
Where on Drake Road is this? Is this south of,
Next to the Fielder's, farm.
pardon?
Next to the Fielder's farm, the alpaca farm,
Okay, so.
Okay.
North of.
So you're north of 18.
north of 18, yep. Second property on the east side of the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Farm, I noticed the farm's for sale now?
Yeah, they're moving to Colorado. They actually just bought a $1.1 million ranch for alpacas.
Holy cow, okay.
Well, they have a big mill, a fiber mill inside that barn right now. It's pretty, no,
Well, here's your opportunity to go legal, you can buy their place.
I don't want their place. They sunk too much money into that barn. And it's not fixed.
okay, any other questions? I noticed your, I don't know if you're gonna utilize this little chicken coop, but I saw it Tractor Supply.
Yeah, we're using it right now, actually. We actually have the chickens and didn't realize that we couldn't have them. So
How many chickens do you have right now?
6, and that's all we're
You
gonna
have
have.
6, okay, so that's, the motion would be, the variance would be for no more than 6. The motion's gonna say there'd be no roosters, which, I
No
mean, the
roosters.
public hearing would be for all those types of things. Not the motion, the public hearing.
Okay, any other questions?
So I have to have a public hearing now?
Yes.
Yeah, all your neighbors within 500 feet to be notified, and
There's not many around you.
No. They all know that they're there.
I'd make a motion that we schedule a public hearing after 7:30 on August 17th for Chris Stoltz, property at 384 Drake Road, seeking relief from Town Code 520-41B1A1 to allow 6 chickens on less than 1 acre.
second,
Motion made by Eddie Hay, second by Ron Gale, scheduling public hearing for Chris Stoltz, 384 Drake Road, for the housing of 6 chickens for August 17th after 7:30. Clerk, please call the roll.
Norman Vaz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Carl Lot,
Aye.
Jerry Hoffman.
Carried, okay, you're all set, have your fee and prior $75 prior to August 4th.
And on August 15th, we'll come around and do the property.
Sure. Anytime. Have a great day.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
The next agenda item is also not in attendance.
Oh, okay.
Royce? Not here.
Cool. Aaron and Kaylee Hurts,
Yeah.
524 Leona Lane.
Yes.
Okay. You're working with ducks?
Yes.
Okay, how many and what's the story?
Just 2.
Just 2?
Just 2 ducks. They're our pets. We like them. They're both boys. There'll be no babies.
Okay,
Where do you keep them?
They have it's like an igloo house, like a dog house that they can sleep in at night. And then I have a little gate around. It's a little plastic gate.
They can't even fly.
In our yards, fenced in.
And our yard's fenced in too, yeah.
Any other questions from the board?
The other thing I just remembered, and we didn't talk to the last guy about is, we're gonna ask you about taking care of the waste, getting rid of the waste. Because you wanna make sure there's no offensive odors for the neighbors, especially where you guys live, it's
Yeah,
more than where that guy lives.
Right.
There's a lot of wide open spaces over there, but where you guys are is not, so that,
yeah.
we're gonna ask in the public hearing of what type of a program you have for getting rid of the waste and those types of things, just so that we have that documented and everything's covered.
Any other comments, questions? If not,
I'll make a motion that we schedule a public hearing on August 17th, 7:30 for Aaron and Kaylee Kurtz.
Yeah.
524 Leona Lane, seeking relief from Town Code 520-41B, 1A, 2A, 4, to keep ducks on the property.
Second.
motion made by Carl Rod, second by Rock Ellsworth to schedule a public hearing for Aaron and Kaylee Hertz, 524 Leona Lane, for August 17th after 7:30 for the keeping of ducks. Clerk, please call the vote.
Alderman Vaz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Carl Ross,
Aye.
Jerry Hoffman.
Okay, Carrie, have your money in prior to August 4th.
So what is, we have to pay before?
You have to pay a $75 public hearing fee before you come back on August 17th at 7:30. So
Okay,
you
Yeah,
can
but
just
they're-
send me a check in the mail if you'd like, you can do that.
okay,
The fees due by August 4th.
Yeah.
For the hearing on August 7th.
Yes.
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, I don't know how this works, so. I know some of my neighbors will get something in the mail.
Everybody within 500 feet, so you might want to warn them or talk to them or something.
Just like when your neighbor had the chickens,
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
got notified.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly.
recognize the area.
They already know I have the ducks. They all love them. There's only 2.
Okay,
Thank you.
you bet. Have a good
All right,
evening.
thanks.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay.
For the Cody Summers,
Yes.
I'm not sure that he actually needs a variance.
For the
Under
fence in
the
the front yard,
fence, it says no fence shall be erected in any front yard except for one, so except he can have one,
yes.
of open and direct decorative design and not more than 4 feet in height. So he's only going 3 feet.
Yeah.
And the open design shall be in the area covered of the set maximum 50% opaque. So if the slats are 3 inches and the opening is 3 inches, that's the 50%.
It has to be 10 feet from the road because of the easement.
Oh, there's an easement in there?
Yes, he does. There's always an easement.
Okay,
And so he has to be really 10 feet from the road. And he wants to be 6 feet.
From the right away.
oh, he went right away.
Yeah,
Oh, he wants to be, oh, so that's what it's for, is
that's
that?
what it's for, yes.
We'll have to look at the location, but he can suffer snowplow damage in the winter.
Oh, that's
That's
probably why they want the 10 feet back, yeah.
Yes.
And, I mean,
So he knows it's gonna be that,
He's
he knows
aware
that's
of
where it's
that.
gotta be, Cody
He's
knows.
aware of that.
and I'm sure
He may not,
4
but
feet
he
is gonna cut off that much of his yard for the kids to play in?
There's not much of a
Oh,
yard.
there's not.
No.
Okay.
He's right on
Yeah,
the road.
pictures, the
But
house
we
is
could
only like 20
also
feet
make
off
a
the road.
stipulation that possibly, because maybe we can make it so that the fence comes out in the winter.
Well, that, or we put right in the motion that any damage done by snow plowing, town
Not-
snow plowing is not the town's responsibility.
That's good. That's good.
Absolutely.
You gotta think about that.
Well, the sidewalk plow would be the only one.
And there's no sidewalk.
Sidewalks on the other
That's
side.
the other side.
Yeah, but if we get a heavy snow and they plow, they wing that back,
That was Wayne's.
I've seen some damage done with those throwing snow.
Yeah, thank
Just a little bit.
Somehow this sounds like experience.
Okay, anything else? Anything from our legal department?
We're all good so far.
So far, gee, thanks. She says that after me tonight.
Well, I don't have much. I don't know where we're gonna go with this thing.
We'll see. I'm sure they've called their attorney.
I guess we'll just see what happens. Anything from, building department, Cheryl?
We're doing good and a lot of people who are coming in and we've had over 110 permits in the past 2 months. It's been awesome and we're waiting for courts to open so that we can rectify and fix other issues.
Okay, well, that's good news.
It is very good news, yes.
You got anything, Cindy?
Nope.
Oh, boy, now we're
She just
getting
was
down to
entertained watching
nitty-gritty.
us.
So,
Norm,
what?
Cindy comes to be entertained watching us.
I feel bad for her. Jennifer, any brilliant statements from town board?
Let's see here. First, actually, can I ask you guys some questions? I have some questions about some agenda items tonight. So, thank you for, I didn't know what that guy needed a permit for, Cody Summers. I was kind of confused. I was like, well, what does he even need? So it's from the right of way. He wants to put the fence 6 feet and the code requires 10. Is that it?
It's in the right way.
Okay. And then does the applicant have to be present to approve a permit, a coastal erosion hazard area? I thought you guys have done them before without the person here.
Not that I know of, everyone has.
I don't think so, Jennifer.
No? Okay.
So we don't.
She sent in substantial documentation, but
Unless you send in some real information, you know, it's difficult to do. I think maybe we've done it once, for not that. We rarely ever do that because it's just not a good thing to do.
And then I don't understand what they need on West Watoma, the Terranes. So I heard you guys saying, and I don't have any of that paperwork, so I just don't know, but I heard you saying the fence doesn't go into the lake side, right? The waterfront side, so what do they need to?
It does.
Okay.
It does a little bit forward of the house, so, and, it's also, in the
Conservation development.
conservation development, so, there is a portion of the fence that it's not highlighted, but it's in the front of the yard.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the, goes all the way to the waterfront. So let's get the variance while they're here so that it's legal, because right now it's a pre-existing non-conforming use.
Okay. And then what does the code say about ducks? I've never seen ducks come before, you guys, or
Ducks
chickens.
are not usually allowed because they're poultry.
Yeah.
They're not allowed at all?
What's that for you on a drive here? Hang on a second.
It's not like chickens where you can have, or states that you can have 6 on your property.
For farm animals, require enclosures and fences. Animals, farm animals and other poultry for lots of 5 acres, which shall for the purposes of the section only include the portion, whatever. 25 poultry other than chicken and hens, but that's for 5 acres. And they certainly don't have anywhere close to an acre, do they?
No.
No,
Well, they're-
under an acre.
they're,
Probably a half.
The ducks came from next door from the gentleman. who
right,
had the
they're
chickens.
part of a previous situation, Jennifer.
Yeah, that's where they came from.
There's,
They've been there quite a while.
Yes, they have. But I've been writing letters and it took this long to get them here.
And we don't have rat problems down there with chickens and ducks?
We've had neighbors who just say yes, that there are, and yes.
That would be my biggest concern with in that neighborhood area is the rats, because ducks and chickens bring rats.
Mhm.
I think that was a complaint from the, when they granted the neighbor variance.
yeah, that's,
The complaint is ongoing.
But then there's a area in back or something that's got a drain, they figure the rats run, I mean, I know all about rats. They're a pain in the butt. Anything else done or that help you any?
Just, we did, there was a change to the code. We had the public hearing at our last town board meeting for the trailers, and we did remove the restriction on the length. You know how it said 30, I think it was 30 feet, so we just completely took that out to really give people more flexibility for the trailers of today, how big they are designed today. There's gonna be a virtual public hearing for the Lakeshore Sewer District. That's Wednesday, August 5th at 7. And I guess the way it's gonna work is, so we've been recording all of our town board meetings on YouTube so that people who don't wanna come in public can stay at home and watch them live from home. So for the public hearing, it'll work in the same manner, except people can comment in live while we're at the public hearing. So any questions people have, they can write them in and we'll read them out and address them at the public hearing as we go. So, and the engineer will be there and he'll give a presentation prior to, opening up for comments and questions.
I have a question. Is there going to be voting? Because they had talked about a while ago that they were going to take a vote to see who wanted it and who didn't.
Not that I'm aware of. I think it's just question answered, typical public hearing.
It's a step towards getting the voting done.
You mean asking like the residents to vote on who? Yeah, no.
No, it's a step towards that.
Okay, we're not that far yet.
A piece of the puzzle to get to that part.
Okay. Thank you.
And then our last zoning workshop, we did talk a lot about wind towers and reworking the code for that. So some of the things we talked about was splitting it like maybe into commercial versus residential and having different requirements for each. Obviously, the height restriction now with the way they're designed isn't really feasible. So we talked about changing the height restriction, a decommissioning bond. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, but we still have a lot of work to do on that. So we had one session and those will resume in
Besides commercial, would you also have agricultural?
So we talked about doing like commercial versus residential,
Right.
but we didn't really discuss agricultural.
But it also says it has to be a commercial business. The ag and mark said it has to be a commercial farming business.
Yes.
Right.
So the commercial would fall, that would fall under the commercial.
Okay, because I was thinking, when I think of commercial, I think of like, out there on 104 in Ontario. What is that, Hayback?
I'm not sure what it is, but because it has to be a commercial farming, operation, that would fall under the commercial, by just doing commercial.
Is the one you're talking about more industrial? Because then there's like industrial also.
Okay. Where is our assessor situation?
I guess we got 9 applications. Eric was kind of weeding through them. A couple he said came from quite a distance away.
One from California and one from
somewhere in New York,
Yeah.
City or in the Adirondacks or something. But so he was contacting people to see when it's feasible to get interviews set up. So 9 applications. Of those, I haven't seen a single one. I don't know if they're people that are current assessors versus people with no experience. I think there's kind of a mixed bag as far as that.
You're scaring me. Get someone that can relate to lakefront and agriculture?
Yes. I mean, I haven't seen anyone who's applied, so I don't know what anyone's credentials or experiences, but.
Okay.
Be careful of California.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean, I'll admit, I'm paranoid, but
Never get paranoid.
from my many years of watching assessors, we have a couple unique features here, the lakefront especially. And then after the lakefront, a big chunk of everything's agriculture.
Lakefront and trailer.
Yeah.
Local parks, so I
Yeah,
mean.
2 trailer parks.
A lot of different pieces to assessment, but. Well, Rocky, you will, that's noted.
Okay.
That's about it, that's all I have.
That's it? Okay.
But
Thank
thanks for
you very
answering all my
much,
questions tonight.
Okay.
Scratch my head on a lot of these ones.
Thank you for answering ours.
Barring no further business, I move we adjourn.
Aye.
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 Okay, we're all set. Thank you, everybody.
You know, but, well, I've told you this before, Jennifer, but.
Rocky,
Pardon?
the video's still on.
Yeah. That's why I didn't say anything.
You want to say stop? And I started talking like.
Is it live too, Jill?
Yeah, we're all live.
So like that, you could be looking at the Town of Hamlin's YouTube channel right now.